This may be one of the most important stories in the culture war, civil war, whatever is going on, political world, social media, censorship, bias. This may be one of the most important stories. Unilever pauses Facebook and Twitter advertising for the rest of 2020 due to polarized atmosphere in US. Right now, there's a boycott of Facebook. And I know, hold on. Before you click that button, you might be saying, well, for me, I don't really care about Facebook. No, man, you got to hear me out on this one. We're not talking about censorship. We're not talking about adpocalypse. We are talking about Facebook and, about Unilever, one of the biggest companies in the world that owns tons of different brands, saying that we're suspending ads because of polarization, not because of hate speech policies. And I think I see what's happening here. These companies have realized, get woke, go broke. And so what's the alternative? Do nothing. That's scary. Think about it. They've realized that if they try to advertise in any way, they'll be attacked for silence being consent or for politicizing. In which case, any advertisement they do will hurt their brands. So they do nothing. This is crazy. It could result in a few things. It could result in Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and many companies losing tons of money as people realize we don't want to advertise in ways that can get us in trouble. But it doesn't stop there. Advertisers have pulled off of Tucker Carlson. Well, why stop there? What about Rachel Maddow or Don Lemon? How about this? How about everyone just boycotts everything that's advertised anywhere? And I see what I mean. As companies start to pull out of advertising, we realize the polarization has come to a point where they can't even advertise at all because we're on the verge of something really, really big. This is going to shift resources. But it's also signaling that the tracks our country is on, the left and the right, have diverged to such a degree, there's no way to actually get both sides anymore. Think about it. Early on, you could do a foofy, happy, lefty-leaning advertisement, and the conservatives didn't really care all that much. But then things started to get crazy, and we saw the get woke, go broke commercials like Gillette. And the right reacted really, really negatively. Gillette then realized, whoa, we missed this one. And then what did they do? They put out an ad that showed a blonde-haired, blue-eyed man in like the military. And I was like, you've gone too far, Gillette. You don't understand what people are mad about. Just make a commercial where it's a guy like, I like to shave. This razor can cut my face. Shave. Instead, everything has become political. The problem is with the left. They say silence is consent. And they demand you give a statement. They'll brigade you and cancel you even if you don't get political, in which case you now have the option of just hurting yourself. Let's read the story. CNBC reports Unilever on Friday said it would be pausing brand advertising on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter through the U.S. Through at least the end of the year. Yes, because of the election. Given our responsibility framework and the polarized atmosphere in the U.S., we've decided that starting now through at least the end of the year, we will not run brand advertising in social media, newsfeed platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter in the U.S., the company said in an emailed statement attributed to the EVP, blah, blah, blah. Now, listen, there's an important point there. In the U.S., they're still running ads. Many people have, there's a boycott going on. Verizon, Ben & Jerry's, and some other companies. Many people think this is part of that boycott. It's not. This is a brand saying, politics has gotten so insane in this country, there's nothing we can effectively market that won't hurt us. That's how far gone we are. Now, Facebook is trying to tell all these companies, no, look, we really do combat hate speech and all this stuff. It insists policy changes are not tied to revenue pressure. Facebook is refusing to bend the knee to these companies, saying we're not going to change. And I think I know why. This boycott is trying to force Facebook to create crazier hate speech rules, a dramatic move in the culture war, or the civil war, culture civil war, whatever you want to call it, the revolution, the left calls it. They're trying to force Facebook to ban more conservatives. Many of these lefties are angry that Ben Shapiro is like the number one source on Facebook, and it really is true. Ben Shapiro and the Daily Wire dominate Facebook shares and engagement. So to shut this down, they use woke corporate pressure. And Facebook said no. You know why? Facebook is also between a rock and a hard place, realizing If they start enforcing more strict rules against people like Ben Shapiro, they're going to start bleeding users, and their advertisements will become, the ad sales they do will become worth less. So no matter what they do, they lose money. The best thing they can do is weather the storm. This is how polarized things are getting. Our companies, our major companies, think it's safe. So maybe here's some good news. There was a study I showed frequently. I love it. They mapped Twitter's cultures, Twitter's bubbles, and they found that digital marketing overlaps with the resistance anti-Trump. And it's probably an accident. Early on, it was popular to embrace more lefty positions. There was a left bias in a lot of media outlets, but the left was all about freedom of expression. So these companies embraced it. Because of this, they think it's always the safe bet. They're now learning it's not a safe bet. So again, another reason why this may be one of the most important stories right now is that this could be the end of woke digital marketing. Seriously. So companies like Facebook are, as I stated earlier, the divergence is so severe, there's no real way to actually deal with this. What I think we're seeing something that could be good, but could be really, really bad. Are we really so politically polarized that major brands have no way to communicate between the two tribes? Yes. White supremacy doesn't mean the same thing anymore. To the left, it doesn't. White supremacy literally means the entirety of the structure of our civilization. Seriously. White supremacy to most people just means a person who thinks white people are superior or supreme or whatever. That's not the leftist view. The leftist view is that this podcast is white supremacy specifically because it is founded upon white supremacist institutions and the concepts of time and colonization. And because I look like I'm white enough, at least, all of these things, arguing, debating, police, fire departments, city hall, democracy, the Constitution, all of these things are white supremacy, they say, because they were founded upon these institutions. This is the inherent perniciousness, I suppose, of systemic racism. While I've talked in the past about the reality of systemic racism, it's very simple, like racial housing covenants and how it persists into ghettos today, they take it to its logical conclusion, which is the danger, in that, therefore, every single thing ever is white supremacy. And that's how their religion functions. It may be, and here's the good news of it, it may be that they have finally shot themselves in the foot and in such a devastating way that they have ended their corporate support. By everything being racist, there's no real way you can advertise in such a way that would protect your brand. So they pull out. Facebook bans conservatives. Facebook is biased against conservatives. And now because of this, the advertisers are asking for more. Advertisers boycotting Facebook want more pressure on the right. Facebook has reached a red line and they are about to implode. So whatever they're doing is not sustainable. So what we're seeing on two fronts. Facebook has reached its limit. The ADL is demanding more and they will keep demanding more. This may be the point at which the woke left can't gain any more ground and the obvious happens. A company like Unilever says, we just can't go that far. 63 million people in this country voted for Trump, and they buy Ben & Jerry's too. So this is it. Corporate sponsorship was what the left was using and was what was promoting them. A meme that's going around shows all of these corporate brands where they change their logos to rainbows, and then a person in front of it saying, I'm being oppressed. Meanwhile, the conservatives don't have this. Every single time a conservative tries to launch their own paper or social media platform, they get mocked, slammed, and ridiculed, and then advertisers won't sell. They lose access to like DNS, which has happened in some instances, or they get banned outright from various platforms. They get accused of being Nazis. Now it's gotten so insane, brands won't advertise on the left stuff either. So let me try and wrap this up in a more succinct way. Listen, if Facebook is biased, okay, and censoring conservatives try to launch their own platforms, but have trouble getting that revenue and getting those advertisers. Now, with Unilever pulling off of Facebook due to the polarization, the far left is losing their revenue as well. Facebook is going to lose all the money and they're biased towards the left. Project Veritas just proved this for like the 50 billionth time. Employees at Facebook are trying to hurt Trump. Good. So if Facebook can't make any money now, then it's just going to be a return to normalcy, I suppose. But they're only doing it in the US, which should show Facebook what it means when you embrace this polarization. It'll hurt the far left, but in the end, Facebook will still exist and they'll still keep making money. So they don't care. All in all, I think this is good. This is like a crack in a massive ice. You ever see The Day After Tomorrow in the beginning when there's like that massive ice shelf and it just cracks? That's what this feels like to me. Unilever is not just some small company that makes soap. They're a parent brand that has tons of subsidiaries. Like, I think that they mentioned some of the subsidiaries here. They say, okay, I'm not going to read through it, whatever. There's a bunch of different companies that Unilever owns. They say Breyer, Ben & Jerry's, Hellmann's Mayonnaise, Lipton, Pure Leaf Teas, Dove products. Look up Unilever and you'll see this massive tree of all the products, and these are all being pulled from Facebook. This could be the point at which the culture war has to stop. When corporate advertisers back away, Facebook panics and then tries to restore normalcy, starts banning the far left to reduce the polarization. Because think about it. If Facebook has already banned the far right, and now they ban the far left, you're left with moderates. Now it's safe to advertise, right? We'll see how things play out. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I will see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. on this channel. And yeah, I'll see you next time.